Good evening from the challengers' dressing room, where Nicky Piper is just minutes away from a second attempt to become world champion. Now, boxing throws up some remarkable characters, but Piper in anybody's book is a bit different. He's a member of Mensa with an IQ of 153. The national average is 100. No wonder the Professional Boxers Association have him as their chairman. His hobbies are different, that's for sure. Welshmen like to sing, but Piper lets his canaries do that. But he's certainly not a softie with opponents. He recorded one of the fastest knockouts on record, the victim, John Ellis, in just 12 seconds. He took just 7 seconds longer to flatten Dave Owens. Eventually, Piper dropped down to super middleweight to cash in on the big names like Nigel Benn. His fights included this stoppage of Trevor Ambrose. But the struggle to make the new limit eventually told after a good start in his challenge to Nigel Benn for the WBC title. Piper was shattered by the 11th when Benn finally caught up with him. So Piper had to return to light heavy. He's become a real nosher, the full Monty here, but in fairness, it is supervised by a top bodybuilder. Nicky, what difference is the weight going to make now at light heavyweight?
Well, first of all, just moving back up to my more natural weight at light heavy gives me a lot more stamina, because I was draining myself to get down to 12 stone at super middleweight. But I've put on a good few pounds of muscle training with the bodybuilding champion of Wales, Leonzer Algeria, over the last 10, 11 weeks. And that extra weight will give me better strength, a much bigger punch, and I think has improved my speed.
These are the scenes from the champions' dressing room. Leonzer Barber from the famous Rink gym in Detroit. Barber has been the WBO's light heavyweight champion since May 1991, when he sent Tom Collins of Leeds into retirement. Since then, he's made 3 successful defences, which have all been decided on points. But Piper thinks the champion will run out of gas, so what does the champion say to that?
Piper doesn't know much about me, does he?
He's watched you a lot on tape.
He watched me a lot on the tape. Isn't the real thing. What he's getting tonight is the real thing. You know, if he was boxing the tape every night, I feel sorry for him, because he's got flesh and bone, the real McCoy out there. When I see him, I say, here I am.
Okay, I've studied Leonzer Barber over the last 10, 11 weeks in great detail. He's very big. I think he struggles with the weight, and I know he's going to tire towards the end of the fight. I'm extremely fit, and it's going to be a tear-up from round 1.
Welcome back to the Big Fight Live here at the Cardiff Ice Rink. Both boxers, as you can see, are already in the ring for the WBO Light Heavyweight Championship. Nicky Piper of Cardiff challenging Leonzer Barber from the Rink gym in Detroit. It promises to be a tough night for Piper in front of his own crowd against a very tough, strong champion. Let's hear from the Master of Ceremonies, Mike Goodall.
Ladies and gentlemen, the officials for this contest appointed by the WBO, the steward in charge, Mr. Jerry Woolard of Glasgow, the British Boxing Board of Control Stewards, Lord Brooks of Tremorfa, and Mr. Cliff Curvis. Your judges at ringside are Mr. Michael Fischer of Germany, Mr. Nelson Vasquez of Puerto Rico, and Mr. Francisco Garcia of Spain. The timekeeper is Mr. Gordon Pape of Swansea. The referee, Mr. Ismael Quinones of Puerto Rico, and tonight's matchmaker, Mr. Ernie Fossey of London. My lords, ladies and gentlemen, Saturday night is Big Fight Night on ITV from the National Ice Rink in Cardiff. This is the main event of the evening, promoted by Frank Warren for Sports Network and BJ Eastwood for Eastwood Promotions, and sponsored by Cardiff Development Corporation, who proudly present a contest of 12 3-minute rounds to decide the light heavyweight championship of the world. Between, in the blue corner, the challenger from Cardiff, wearing the red trunks, a former ABA light heavyweight champion whose professional record from 23 contests reads 19 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 15 wins coming by way of KO, a former undefeated WBO Pentacontinental champion, Nicky Piper. And in the red corner, wearing the red trunks with the gold trim, fighting from the world-famous Kronk Gym in Detroit, USA, whose professional record from 19 contests reads 18 wins and 1 loss, 11 wins coming by way of KO, defending his title for the 4th time this evening, the WBO light heavyweight champion of the world, Leonzer Barber. At the weigh-in today, Piper scaled 12 stone, 6 pounds, 10 ounces. Barber, 12 stone, 7 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, the WBO light heavyweight championship of the world.
All set to go then. Now let's hear from our regular commentary team, the outstanding partnership of Jim Watt and Reg Gutteridge.
Well, run down here with a Puerto Rican referee there, Ismael Quinones, last seen with the Chris Pyatt and John David Jackson fight in Leicester here. Now is Piper here, the Mensa man, really going to give it, well, all the guns from the start. That's not his usual style, despite having knocked out people a lot in the first round. He's a bit tasty at that. He's just going to try and draw the strength as quickly as he can from Barber, who insisted that the weigh-in ceremony took place earlier this morning than generally anticipated. Sometimes it's the night before, but Piper said no, he wanted it on the day of the fight to not give the American any, well, advantage. Maybe it isn't. So Barber's travelled well. There he is in Cardiff. He fought in China not so long ago, defended the championship. Well, OK, he's kept his word. He's thrown the first punch anyway, the Welshman. Definitely the weight does suit him now, moving up from the super middle 12 stones to 12.7, Piper.
Well, Piper wants to start positively, Reg, but not recklessly. You know, he wants to get that chin down nice and tight. Have a look at this fellow. He's getting in with that head just a little bit too high in the first round here.
Yeah, he'll calm down as he goes along, Jim.
Yeah, well, a good positive start certainly is a big help in a championship fight.
Say just a spectacular kind of fighter, a bit underrated, I suspect, Barber. We really haven't seen too much of him. I think that's been the problem. And he's had 4 World Championship fights and Piper won. Well, strange enough, Piper's on rounds has had more experience, 117 as against 105 for Barber.
Barber looks very cool, you know, the few right hands that Piper is throwing. He just tucks his chin and rides his shoulder round to block it. Looks to have a good defensive technique, Barber.
Oh yeah, he's a survivor, and I think you've got to be to box out of the Kronk Gym in Detroit, which I know fairly well. It's you have to be able to handle yourself to survive there.
Well, Piper's having a go in the first round here, but he's not really managing to get through yet. I think Barber is going to be very good defensively.
The record suggests that he absorbs a good punch, the American.
So Piper's just a little bit careless, Reg. He's getting pinned. See, pinned again with that right hand. He's not thinking enough about defence. He's too intent on what he's going to do. So that's again another clean shot going through in Piper.
Yeah, it's the old axiom about the best means of defence is attack. Piper seems to have adopted. It's a bit risky.
Well, Barber held on longer than he should have done there. I wonder maybe if he was slightly shaken. I don't know.
early start in this WBO light heavyweight championship fight.
Well, Piper's tactics seem to be to set a pace, Reg, and hope this fellow has weight problems.
Well, those sort of punches in the past have knocked over the opposition, but as you grow up in class here, he absorbs them, as I said earlier on, fairly well, this fellow, but for how long we don't know.
See, Barber looks to be trying to keep a nice steady pace. He's complaining about Piper's head there. Well, Piper wants to set a pace. Obviously, he feels his best chance is to get some of the steam out of Barber.
He won the vacant championship, Barber, after only 12 fights when he defeated Britain's Tom Collins in Leeds. Oh, he's sinking them in here, Piper. He's not playing with the punches. He's letting them all go full weight.
Well, I thought Piper shaded the first round mainly on his work rate. He took a few shots towards the end of the round, but he certainly wants to set the pace.
Thing here, Jim, with Barber gives me the impression of being a sort of casual craftiness. I'm not sure yet about him, are you?
He seems a little bit low-key. I saw him looking down at his corner there, and I don't know why. It's unusual. That's a break in concentration. He glanced down to your corner. He seems well controlled in his movements, and the way he rolls his chin and brings his shoulders round, it looks to have a fairly good defence. But he definitely wants to slow the pace down.
And Piper trying to deprive him of that.
Piper taking too many chances, Reg. That's the problem, going all out in attack.
He's not rolling his head at all, is he there, Jim, as he walks in, which he'll have to do.
See, I've always felt Nicky's head just a little bit high at times, and when you're fully committed to attack, you know, he leaves himself a little bit open. See, there's that right hand straight through again.
This could be an interesting fight now as it goes along. Third round coming up then. Scheduled, of course, championship for 12. And should it go that distance? Well, we've got a judge from Puerto Rico, from Spain and Germany. Referee is Puerto Rican. I think Barber just glanced at the corner there, Jim, because Luther Burgess, the second there, was calling out something to him. He thought he was in the gym listening to instructions.
Yeah, but a fighter should have better concentration than that, especially a world champion. Piper's doing the right thing, setting the pace, but he just wants a bit more method in what he's doing. He's just a little bit reckless, his head too high. He wants to think what he's doing, use a feint, try and draw a lead from Barber. Don't just march straight in and hope the big right hand's going to land. I thought in the second round, Barber landed some real good quality counter punches.
Bit of a silent referee this year, Jim. He's just making the gestures all the time, the signs, but I'd like to hear him calling a bit. See, he'll get tagged, the referee, if he's not careful.
This might be quite a hard fight to handle, Reg. You know, they're getting into some clinches already.
Well, as far as Piper's concerned, really, it looks as though he's trying to do not only out-punch him, but try and out-think him. It's a little bit of a chess game at times, isn't it, in boxing terms?
Well, I mean, a little bit more control from Piper, and that's what we're getting here. Just has to control what he's doing, keep that chin down, just think what he's doing. Don't just hope the big right hand's going to land. A little bit messy this early in the fight.
As I said from the start, I don't think Barber claims to be that spectacular, but on the other hand, he's a very good workman. No, it's a pity to see a bit of clinching like this, or laying on, really, isn't it?
Yeah, well, this early in the fight, you don't expect it. I mean, okay, when they tire, you expect a little bit of untidy stuff, but not this early. It is messy, but Piper maybe just a little bit sharper.
Got a feeling Barber might be surprised by Piper's boxing ability, plus a bit of punch power to go with it. He runs the Thomas & Becket Gymnasium in London, but is going over to spend a month or so at the Kronk Gym in Detroit. So round 4.
Barber gets some swelling in the eye already.
It looks like one of those fighters, Jim Barber, that was going to make it awkward for the other guy. And there's the ITV scorecard there, just slightly ahead, obviously, we think, Piper at the moment. Yells there from Piper's manager and promoter Frank Warren saying, get the punches up, bring them in sort of the uppercut position when you're close in instead of claiming.
Barber's got his left hook working quite well here, like a short jab come hook as Piper comes in. Piper just needs to get them off a little bit quicker.
He's not doing too badly though, Jim, is he?
He's doing well, Reggie. He's setting the pace. And that's obviously been his plan. Get this fellow working and hope he's going to run out of steam.
Keep looking, see that he's complaining there, the referee, that he's caught with his head again.
Well, it's always nice when your opponent complains to the referee. Barber doesn't look anything special at this point, Reggie.
Piper keeps himself well in control. Just protects the chin a little bit more, perhaps. He'd be quite a hero in Wales. They've already got Steve Robinson as the featherweight champion, who's at ringside. And lined up to fight Paul Hodgkinson in Cardiff defence. Oh, yes. That'll learn him, as they say.
Yeah, nicely done. Nice bit of sidestepping there from Piper. Piper becoming a little bit more confident. I'm surprised the action's a little bit scrappy. They're getting tied up a lot. I mean, this kind of stuff.
I still think Barber's a bit surprised at the ability that Piper has, and he more than stings a bit with his punch record, Jim Piper. And his eyes closing on him too, Barber.
Piper getting him off a little bit quicker than Barber now. So that's his head again. Now, I have to agree with Barber, actually. That's the third time he's got the worst.
Fifth round, and things looking good for the Welshman, Nicky Piper here, because defending champion Leonzer Barber's right eye is swelling heavily there, and the London cornerman had to work on that with what they call the Eden swell, a little sort of doll's eye. And there's the update on the unofficial version of the scorecard. Definitely won the last round, Piper, anyway.
Yeah, nice boxing from Piper again, good counter punching. Wonder if Barber's having trouble seeing that jab coming. His eye certainly swelling up.
Gets himself in great shape. Nicky Piper works hard at it. Not that Barber's been ducking his training, you can't do that at the gymnasium he works in.
Barber's got his jab moving a bit better here.
Leonzer Barber must be able to bang a bit. You know, he's knocked out or stopped 11 of 18 wins.
He's trying to step the pace up now, Reg. That was a nice little right hand. He knows, I mean, it's not been a good start for Barber, so he's the one who has to show some improvement. I think he's trying to do that now.
He's been a pro 7 years, only lost one contest.
I'm surprised there's so much scrappy action there. I thought the two excellent boxers would have seen a lot of good long-range stuff. But they're getting tied up an awful lot inside like this, stuff like this.
It's possible that because he's such a difficult opponent in terms of style, Leonzer Barber's why he hasn't had a chance against the other claimants to World Championship, Jeff Harding, Virgil Hill and Henry Mas, the German. So here's Gary Newman with the World Featherweight Champion, Steve Robinson.
Steve, do you think that Nicky's being a bit reckless here?
I think he is. He should really take his time, pick his punches. He's looking good at the moment. I think he's ahead on points. And he's just right, take his time and pick his punches. I think he could stop him.
It is the right tactic, though, to really put the pressure, because we don't know whether Barber will last the distance or not. We'll soon find that out. But do you think we have another Welsh world champion here?
Oh, it's looking good. I'm confident Nick is going to stop him myself.
What would you be telling him now?
To take his time, pick his punches, and keep pressuring him.
It's going to be a tough old fight. It's getting a bit rough out there, actually.
Yeah, it's getting a bit reckless, like, you know, but Piper's looking very strong, but I feel Piper's going to take him myself.
Round 6.
Sixth round. And it's really hotting up among the crowd here. They can sense now that a man can win this. Well, you know, I think Barber just about pinched that round, the previous round there. Tightens it up a bit, Jim.
Yeah, probably just a cleaner punch in the first part of the round. Piper come on a little bit stronger towards the end, but probably the clean shots came from Barber in the first couple of minutes. But Barber still has to move up a gear. I mean, Piper must be happy boxing at home. It's a dangerous looking right hand from Barber there. but he's the one who has to show some improvement. Things looking good for Nicky Piper.
Yes, not over yet, Jim, is it? Bit of a...
Well, we'll see if Barber can sustain this attack. Bit disappointing the way every time they're up close that they don't punch at all. They just clinch and wait for the referee to break them.
The silent referee too, Jim. It's unusual. I haven't heard him say break or box on or stand back.
Barber's not as sharp as I thought he would have been. He's not getting his punches off quite a little bit better there.
Well, Jim, this is a question of dragging to do the weight, as has been suspected. When he defended against Anthony Hembrick, actually, he had twice had to go to the skulls, Leonzer Barber. I mean, does that have an effect on the timing?
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah, if there's a lack of snap, a lack of strength, then it's obviously going to show the sharpness of your punch. But I'm surprised that neither boxer wants to throw a punch up close. It's a couple of punches at long range. If they miss, they're going into a clinch. Barber looking a bit more dangerous in this round, Reg.
Yeah, he can still see sufficiently there to land his share of punches.
Not the same quality in Piper's work in this round. There's a marked difference in what he's doing. I wonder if he's feeling the pace. Though having said that, it's not really been a tremendous pace, but Piper seems to have lost a little spark in this round.
I told you that referee's got to get his chin out of the way or he could be in trouble. This fella's a bit of an old campaigner, isn't he? He's not going to give in easily, I'll tell you that. It started to pinch it back a bit. Now there's the Londoner Dean Powell now. Well, he actually is from the north, but he lives in London and runs a gymnasium. And he's got to really lean into that and push that swelling away with that ice, almost like an ice cube really. They keep it in an ice bucket. Jim, let's have a look at that replay. This is a Barber punch, this.
Yeah, well, quite a few good punches from Barber in that round. He must realise he has to improve, and he certainly did in that round.
It's where the seconds have really got to earn their corn here. 60 vital seconds between rounds, then those corner men, they become sort of first aid and ambulance men all at once, don't they? There you go, round 7.
Oh, started with a lovely left hook, Barber.
I reckon there's only about a point in it, Jim, don't you, at the moment?
Yeah, well, Piper
and there it is,
off to
look.
a good start.
Oh, well, that's... See, the game plan with Piper was he was the one that was going to come on strong in the second half of the fight.
Nice work from Piper, nice right hand.
The crowd echo every landing punch there by Piper. I mean, more than just a welcome in the hillside for him. If he wins that, we welcome everywhere. Yeah, it's swelling badly, that eye, Jim, isn't it?
Yeah, Piper wants to start banging some left hooks round. I don't think Barber could see them coming.
See, there's been no warning for batting by the referee there, so they wouldn't go to the scorecards if it was prematurely stopped, Jim, would it?
No. He's only actually been warned once, I think. There's an accidental clash, so no, it wouldn't go to the scorecards. I'm surprised at the kind of scrappy action up close.
they're both essentially long-range hitters, really. I suppose it's a similarity in styles that's contributing to that. Minute to go in this round. Just taps his head there, the referee is. But they haven't got time to look at him, the fighters, to say, watch your heads, he's really saying. Much cleaner punches there by Piper.
Just surprised how messy it is up close, Reg. I mean, they've never worked at all inside. This is good sharp stuff from Piper now.
Oh, there's a sign there. I've got it, fellas, but we shouldn't be too complacent yet. Meanwhile, here's Gary with the promoter manager, Frank Warren.
Frank, Barber's right eye could be the key to this fight. There's a real target there for Piper to hit and win the championship.
That's right. I mean, what I want Nicky to do, I would like him to keep his left hand up. He's getting caught now and again by Piper, the right hand, and step to the other guy's left. As you say, the eye's up. If he keeps working it, he may get lucky, it may get cut. But Nicky's winning the fight. I think he's just got just in front. Very competitive fight. I just want to see more work rate from him.
This is real reward for him if it happens, because he's been very loyal to you through your troubles, hasn't he?
He's been absolutely great. I mean, he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And, you know, if I ever wanted a fighter to win a world title, this is it, for him.
So, what happens now? Crucial time in the fight.
Very crucial. Nicky's got to keep the work rate up. He's got to keep his hands up. He keeps dropping that left hand at times and keep working his jab.
So there it is in round 8, and certainly manager Frank Warren understandably being excited about that. For he's a jolly good fellow, we all agree with that with Nicky Piper, the chairman of the new Professional Boxers Association. They just might, Jim, and only might keep that eye under control.
Well, a swelling's more difficult to deal with than a cut, Reg. At least with a cut, you still have vision out of the eye, but a swelling can be a real problem, and that one is really banged up. Piper wants to start swinging over some left hooks. I mean, it's a true old business, so if your opponent has a swollen eye, then you've got to use it to your advantage.
Quick look at the unofficial scorecard again there. We're making 2 points up. But there you are. You know what the judges are. You've probably seen if you follow our series. But, they can certainly disagree with us and with each other often too.
Barber giving Piper a bit of the elbow in the face there.
Tell you what, Jim, there's no sign of weakness yet in Barber's boxing, is there, in terms of stamina?
No, but it looks to me that he really should be stepping up the pace. He's boxing away from home. Piper's boxing well, looking sharp. Barber is the one who has to show some improvement, and if he has another gear to move up into, then he should be doing that now. He's still a little bit low-key. Piper's making him miss. Yeah, I think Piper should be quite happy the way things are going, Reg.
Oh, what a saucy little uppercut he's thrown in as well there. Ken, how do you like that? There'll be some wheel in this town, I tell you that, the way it's going.
Well, Barber's landed a few jabs, but never without reply. Piper's always getting his own jab home at the same time. And and coming back with little right hands.
A little bit of gung-ho now in Barber there boxing, because he's an ex-US Marine, and he'll need it. And they're loving every moment of it, and I don't blame them, getting the value for money. Yes, it's been scrappy at times, but there's some good competitive boxing going on. And the local hero is winning, at least on our part. Have another look at that now. Piper again landing. You got a close-up of the eye there, of course.
Yeah, Piper just a little bit sharper in my book in that round. Barber landed a few good punches, but Piper always come back with a little bit extra.
So there a little bit of... what's he's going to call the referee over here, by the look of it, or not, Luther Burgess? It looked as though he was, didn't it? No. Unless he was just blocking the other corner there. Haven't called for the doctor to examine it either. But only the referee can officially stop the fight. 9th round. And the atmosphere now is really getting electric. They're chipping the paint off the rafters here at the Cardiff ice rink.
Well, Piper has an excellent jab, and he started using it now. A lot of control about his boxing. He just wants to keep poking that jab into Barber's face.
Just a reminder, it goes the distance then. Judges Spain, Puerto Rico and Germany. Referee doesn't vote. They won't bother with the 3 knockdown rule, which is in effect. If one man goes down 3 times in the round, it's all over, but that doesn't look as though it's going to happen. They both absorb a punch.
That's a terrible swelling.
Yeah.
It's right around the side of his cheek as well, it's swelling. I mean, it's a massive swelling Barber has in his face.
Oh dear, it's really going up now as we're talking, Jim. Look, I've got a feeling they might stop this at the end of the night.
I don't think you can see at all out of that now.
Oh, what a left hook. As I'm saying, a man won't get knocked down here. Now, is he going to make this, Piper? He is in trouble. He is. The legs are going to give way, I think, as he stands up. And they are. And he said, I'm all right. I could hear him say that.
The referee's give him a slow count, Reg. He's given him every chance, but he's in trouble. He has not recovered, Reg.
Oh, dear, it's all over. Frank Warren jumped in the ring as well. And as he's counted, the judges are saying to Warren, don't get in, but it's all over. What a turnaround in the 9th round. Right from the start, Jim Watt was warning Piper not to hang the chin out, but I must say, it never looked at that point it was ever going to happen to him.
There were never signs that Barber had the power to knock Piper out. Piper really boxing well, ahead in our cards, I'm sure the judges' cards, but that was a beautiful left hook. Just the sign of a champion when you're in a little bit of trouble. I mean, the swelling had doubled in that eye, and he came out with that left hook, and Piper just did not recover from it. You can see when he was on the floor, no way his legs were going to hold him when he got back onto his feet again. Bad luck for Nicky Piper, but a championship finish from the champion.
Piper led away there rather sorrowfully by border control steward Cliff Curvis, an old welterweight champion. Jim, here comes the first knockdown.
I mean, that was a peach of a punch. It was bang on the chin. See, come the full weight of his body. That was a perfect left hook. Even then, he thought the fight was over. You can see Barber putting his hands in the air, and Piper just never recovered from it. This is where he should have grabbed hold. He shouldn't have tried to back off, but he didn't quite know where he was, and down he goes.
We have word, Jim, I think that actually the judges agreed with us that Piper was in front going into that round. It's not official, but I'm told an official has told me that, so I imagine it is okay. It's reliable information.
Look at the swelling on that eye, Red. You wonder how much longer he could have gone with that injury.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 1 minute 40 seconds of round 9, the referee has stopped the contest with Nicky Piper in no position to defend himself. The winner and undefeated light heavyweight champion of the world, Leonzer Barber.
It just shows you that one punch can just cancel all the arrears in the fight game. Well, full credit to this fella. He pulled the payoff punch when it mattered most. And Piper had tried so hard there. So...
And ladies and gentlemen, your appreciation, please, for a very, very fine loser indeed. Cardiff's very own Nicky Piper.
That was an amazing turnaround, Frank. I mean, that eye was closing, but Nicky left his chin out and paid the penalty.
Kept dropping his left hand. You know, he was doing it from the start of the fight. He was winning the fight. I thought he would overcome it all. And I thought he was just getting control of the situation. And out that blue came the punch and obviously caused all the damage and broke his dream.
I mean, Barber did look a bit out of it, didn't he?
I honestly thought he was winning the fight. I'm his manager and I may be a bit biased, but I thought he was in front. I thought he was boxing well, but he kept dropping that left hand.
Okay, we might be able to show you the finish in just a moment. But what happens to Piper now? Because that's his second attempt. I know it's a bit quick afterwards, but he must be wondering that now.
Well, you know, he was in with a very good fighter. I think the guy's the best light heavyweight of all the champions. I think he's the best one. It was no disgrace in his performance. He just got caught, and the guy is a good puncher. You know, got to get a bit of time and think about the future.
You were looking very worried. I think you were trying to stop the fight on the second knockdown.
Yeah, well, I was trying to stop it after the first. I just didn't think he had it in him to, you know, to get up. He got caught with a good shot and obviously wanted to stop it as soon as possible.
This is the first knockdown, actually, Frank.
You watch. You see where the left hand is. Bang. Oh, sorry, hit him with a left hook he hit him with.
Yeah. There's no need to show you the second
sorry,
one.
He got hit with a left hook there.
Yeah, but there's no need to show you the second one because that was the one that did the damage. The fight was really over them.
Yeah.
All right, Frank. Well, I'm sorry that your dreams have gone there, but what we're going to do now actually is have a quick look at the undercard because you've had an excellent undercard here today. So let's have a look then at the outcome of how those particular fights went. First of all, there was Duke McKenzie, the new British featherweight champion, kept in shape for a world title shot later this year. He had an easy workout against Marcelo Rodriguez of Mexico, 8-rounder, winning every single round for a points decision. Then there was the Welsh flyweight Robbie Regan, who was involved in the best undercard fight with the impressive Italian Michele Podigar. It was a return match from a draw. Regan won 8 of the 10 rounds, the other 2 being drawn, but he really was outstanding, Robbie Regan. 40-year-old veteran Dennis Andres stopped Crawford Ashley when the former British light heavyweight retired at the end of the 4th. He did have Andres down in the 2nd, but Ashley was suffering from an early uppercut and said he couldn't see properly out of his left eye. And then there was the 19-year-old Nassim Hamed. He made it 10 out of 10, a really outstanding prospect, this. He stopped Peter Buckley of Birmingham at the end of the 4th, but it was an amazing finish. No one could really understand it, and certainly Buckley was very upset. He's now suspended for 28 days, but Ahmed makes it 10 out of 10. Well, just time with all the bewilderment going on behind me here to tell you there's some more top boxing coming your way on ITV, and we're starting with a really outstanding bill from Las Vegas tomorrow. Julio Cesar Chavez heads the bill. He makes it his 24th world title defense. Incredibly, he's unbeaten in 91 fights. Also on the bill, Thomas the Hitman Hearns begins his search for a world title at a 6th different weight. Then next Saturday, he's back, the king of the struts, defending his title in Germany. What are the Germans going to make of Chris Eubank? And also on Wednesday week, February the 9th, Chris Pyatt puts his world title on the line. So let's have a check then on that ITV lineup. The Las Vegas special tomorrow, times vary. Please check your regional listings. I think it's 11:15 in most places, but I know Meridian's 2:15, so make sure that you do check there. And then Chris Eubank defending against the unbeaten German champion, Graziano Rocchiani. What a name that is. That's live from Berlin, a really big fight for you next Saturday night at 9:50. Make sure that you've got that one done. And Chris Pyatt against the South African Mark Cameron. That takes place in Brentwood a week on Wednesday. So Leonzer Barber retains the WBO light heavyweight title. There he is, about to get out of the ring. He's kept that title since 1991. I really thought Nicky Piper was going to win it after the way he started. He was always reckless, but he looked as if he was going to close that eye and win the title. But how amazing this sport is. It changed with a knockout punch. From Cardiff, good night to you.